anything wrong.
I created Species Nutrition with one mission in mind: to provide bodybuilders and serious athletes with no-nonsense supplements that work. I put my name and reputation on every bottle of Species Nutrition products. If you want to be your absolute best, join the evolution.
It just came out! Look at that!
I love it!
And we're back for another We're not back. I'm back now. We're back to another exciting episode of After Hours with the Whack Pack. Of course, Palumbo, joined by the entire Whack Pack. We're trickling in late. John, let's add John to the stage. There's John Romano, Amin Alai, Armand Adibi, and of course, Mr. G. Greg is having some technical difficulties for a change. Imagine that.
Dave, do you see the comments?
Wait, I got to tell you about my technical difficulty.
Hold on. It says YouTube did not support comments on private videos.
Oh, did I forget to do something? Hold on. Oh, I made it. I got to make it. Thank you. I had to make it public. All right. The guys are probably these trolls are probably having going crazy.
You get a kick out of this.
Yeah, the trolls.
I'm trying to log on and type my password in, and I'm typing my password, and I've typed it in, and it goes decline. I do it again, decline. I did it 1 key, 2 keys, 3. So careful. It does it again. I go, what the fuck? What's wrong with my password? And I'm going over and over, and I'm defining lunacy by attempting the same thing over and over again. And then I look, and the light's on cap lock.
Oh,
I turn cap lock off, and boom, here I am.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if it went live earlier, Dave, because the private.
No, it was live. They just couldn't make comments. That's all.
Oh, okay.
I think it was.
Earlier too, John, I was like opening the link, and then it erases it as soon as I'd open it.
You might be right. Maybe it didn't go live because I had it set privately. Yeah.
And it was something stupid, right?
You know, everything is so technical nowadays. Everything we do is like, computer this, check this box, check that. If you forget to check one box, you're completely done. We live in this like society where you can't make one error. And we were cursing at the computer, and you know what? It's never the computer's fault. It's always our fault somehow. There's always like a number missing or a checkbox that wasn't checked, and it's I can't wait till the day comes. It'll come where you don't have to have any more passwords. You're just going to scan your eye like your iPhone does, and it will be. Everything will open up for you because I'm sick of. I have 600 passwords and usernames for a million different websites, especially with the businesses I have. I can't remember anything. Remember back in the day when the hardest thing you could possibly do was remember your telephone number, and you didn't even need to know the area code because you didn't have to put the area code in. You just did because you only called in your own area code. You'd put 555-6363. That's it. That's the phone number you had to remember.
Yeah, so the beginning didn't even air because it was private. So
it didn't. All right, sorry, you didn't miss anything.
Armand, you have to redo it, Armand. Redo the intro.
We just said, what do we say? Like, whatever Arnold said, or whatever.
Well, you know what it is. You didn't wait till the red light. You didn't listen to my instructions, so they didn't hear it anyway.
Sorry, Dave.
Hey, I got a question. I'm at the gym training. Why is all the young guys wearing John Romano sandals?
John Romano sandals. First of all,
they're wearing sandals with socks.
You shouldn't have to. You should not be allowed to wear Crocs or sandals to the gym. You should have to wear a shoe with a cover on it because you know what? You drop weight on your foot, you're going to break your toe. I mean, severe, like
Hey,
really.
if you're
You can do it
wearing-
with regular sneakers too, but
Only if you're wearing steel-toed work boots does that count. If you're wearing a pair of sneakers, it does not matter.
God, listen. If you drop
a 45-pound plate on that from waist height, your toe is getting
right,
crushed.
but drop a 10-pound weight on a sneaker. It's not that bad. You drop it on a flip flop, you're gonna rip your toe apart.
Either way, it's gonna fucking
You
hurt.
can't hear
They're
you.
wearing
Greg.
sandals. They're wearing
wear
sandals with socks.
Hey,
Yeah, but pajama pants and sandals. Pajama pants and sandals. That's
Why
the new
is
norm.
why? I wonder why Greg's having a problem. This is like a Mr. G issue. This is not really a Greg issue.
yeah.
I think Greg.
But I never have issues.
Greg,
I
are
think
you on
Greg-
Chrome? Are you on Chrome?
If he did
He's
other
probably
Get
using
on Chrome. Because this yard stream works on Chrome.
StreamYard. Well, it works on works on whatchamacallit, Edge too.
I think Greg, if you did another podcast this week and it was on another platform, sometimes it messes up the settings.
You might have to enable your microphone. Yeah, what he's saying. You did.
He did do another podcast. We can read his lips.
Yeah.
So that's
He has to
probably
learn
it.
where the
The
settings.
microphone is still being used by the other browser or whatever, Zoom or whatever you used on the other one.
Did
You got
he
to
reboot?
go into the settings, Greg. There's a settings button on the bottom of this StreamYard.
It looks like a little gear.
Select your microphone. It's like telling you.
It's your birthday today?
It's like telling your father how to use the remote control, John.
I know.
On the TV,
No, it's like Family Guy when Peter's given the phone number to Consuelo.
Greg is on like 6 different shows.
5, 3, no, 2 5s. No, Greg, you got to shut your computer off and turn it back.
No, he did it already. He did that already.
Full
He
time.
did it already.
I look at other podcasts too, and they have troubles all the time too. Other podcasts.
You know what? He's not selecting his microphone. That's his problem.
It's a gear. It
saying
looks
it's
like a
you.
gear. The
Dave,
button.
he's saying it's you. He's
It's
saying
not
it's
us
you.
because we all hear each other. So, anyone to lip read it? Get Lou.
I think he's saying
You got to hold of a note.
it's
Write a
your
note.
side that's making his volume not work. That's what he's saying.
Well,
Yeah, right.
how come all of us can hear each other and the audience can hear us? You're the only person we can't hear.
He's saying you have him muted.
I do not have him
Dave,
muted.
resend him the link.
That's not going to do a
No,
fucking
it's not going to
thing.
do anything.
I did.
He's logged in and out 3 times already,
Right.
George.
What?
He
I
said
don't
it's
have
not
you
on
muted.
mute.
Now I'll mute you. Now I have you muted. Now you can see it.
Okay.
Now I'll unmute you, and you're still muted.
It's still, that wasn't it, Greg.
Good try.
Try running StreamYard through Chrome on Chrome.
You open it in another browser, man.
Open it up in another browser. Try that.
He doesn't even know what a browser is, though, unfortunately, though. That's the problem.
He said, "Fuck you."
Where's your girlfriend? Can't she
He's
troubleshoot this
smarter
stuff?
than you think.
Where's your girlfriend, Greg?
You know what? You're right. He's like he's like our fathers. You got to just let him toil around and figure it out.
It'll eventually jump on. It'll eventually happen.
It's like, remember Archie Bunker when all the family and he would Edith would be incessantly talking. He'd start loading the gun and he'd put it to his head and blow his brains out like pantomime it. That's what Greg's gonna do.
That was a great show.
That was the best show.
Dave's on the 60s today with the old phones.
I
Without
know.
the,
I know.
Could you imagine trying to get that show done today?
Yeah,
All right,
right.
look.
It's too not DEI. It's too racist.
Way too racist.
Well, it's actually true.
All right.
It's true.
Greg, you got to go into your settings on the bottom of the. Let's just listen. Don't talk. Listen. On the bottom of
It
the
doesn't matter
screen,
if he talks.
it says settings. Yeah, but he's not listening.
Well,
though. That's the problem.
Captain,
On the
Captain
bottom, there's
George,
something
you
that
do
says
a
settings.
pose down.
In the settings, if it's saying it's muted in the settings, then it's on your computer. You might have your computer muted.
Saying it's good.
He doesn't know what the settings button looks like. It looks like a gear.
Yeah.
It's a round. It looks like a gear. It's round with teeth on it. You
Well, that's
press
what
that,
You'll see it.
and then you're
does.
going to get options for audio, camera, and something
Right.
else.
Right.
Right. You
Right.
pick
But he
the
has it
option
on.
for audio, and you choose your microphone.
Where's
Yeah.
your girlfriend at, Greg? Get her to.
There's usually a drop-down menu on the microphone. You got to pick the right microphone.
That was the camera.
That's the camera. Now go to the audio settings.
Yeah. But you would see if he was muted, and you don't.
Is there
see
a
it.
drop-down on the audio?
Yeah, there is. It's got to be.
He said the audio is good.
It's not good because we can't hear you, so it's not good.
You know what? Maybe his microphone broke.
Is your microphone plugged in?
No, it's part of the computer. It's all his is part of the computer. He's using the mic with the computer mic, right?
The other alternative is to go off his phone. Just go off your phone.
Yeah, just go off your phone.
You might have to just use your phone. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
All right. Well, we got to ignore him now because now I'm getting irritated. Where's Larry?
I don't know.
Larry actually texted me too.
Larry's like a staple. You can count on him.
Yeah, I know. Larry's usually the first person to log
First
in.
one here. I know.
Yeah,
Right.
Larry's loyal.
Okay.
And now he's
When
calling.
someone that regular is missing, I always think
call and
Rose.
hear audio. Hold on.
We're all having issues.
And Jimmy's still driving.
My microphone is not muted. I can FaceTime you and show you.
Why don't you just do you have can you just click on the link on your phone if I send it to your phone?
I could, but then it goes in and out and shit.
Greg, do you see the settings button at the bottom of right underneath where it says RX Muscle? It says settings.
Yeah, it's clear.
Click settings, and you're going to get camera, audio, and visual background on the left at the top. Do you see that?
Got it. It's on the bottom on here.
Okay, press that, and then you're going to get another window, and on the top left, it's going to say camera, and then under that audio, and then under that virtual background. Do you see that?
Yes.
Click on audio.
I did.
All right, now you see where at the top it says mic, and then there's a little arrow in the box.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
You did it. Good job, John.
Thank
John,
you.
good job.
John Romano to the rescue.
Good job.
It was on something else. I don't know what the fuck.
We told you.
We told you that.
You weren't listening, though.
No, but I looked. It says it's mute. There's no mute and the mute thing.
No,
is
because you didn't
fucking-
choose
doesn't
the
have the line on
microphone.
it.
That took 10 minutes, Greg.
10 minutes of the show is us trying to talk you through getting on the
But
microphone.
it was a
Yeah, but
productive 10
you know what?
minutes.
That's the best 10 minutes. People
Probably
like
helped a lot of people who have that problem. Greg
That's
solved
10
the
minutes
problem.
that Greg didn't interrupt anybody.
Right.
John
No, actually, he did.
I
He
actually
The
did.
whole thing was about him trying to get on.
John
right.
called me up the other day, and he says to me, "You know, the show is a great show, but everyone talks over each other. It's horrible." I said, "That's why people watch the show, because they think they're at like their relatives' houses, and where people just don't listen to each other. They just talk indiscriminately over each other." So John and I decided we're going to do a Palumbo podcast, just him and I. And so we do this podcast. I think it comes out really great, John, right? It was a good show. We were talking about all the different Make America Healthy, RFK Jr., YouTube demonetized the show.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Why?
I don't. Because he thinks it's because he was talking about Maha. Make America healthy again.
But you still,
I don't know.
Still
I
posted,
thought-
right?
Yeah, Trump
kidding
talk
me?
to YouTube and tell him no more fucking censoring of
Dude.
shows.
I don't know, but it's funny because you brought this up on Sunday with Chris, and
Yeah.
I was watching the show, and I thought
Dude,
it was
look
really
at-
strange.
look at
And then
me.
Chris said, "Why don't you do a show talking about everything that's bad for you and see if they
It'd
demonetize
be
that?"
fine if I talked about McDonald's and Wendy's and
Dave, I just sent you a thing where I was on Facebook and
Look up.
my boy Charlie
That's all
Gasparino and I were talking, and I said to Charlie,
Yeah, that was
Look,
from a
that's-
couple of years ago. I remember that.
yes, and then now I just got Instagram because I took a picture of test sip and Viagra, and I said my two best friends because I'm prescribed that shit, right?
Right.
And they took me off. They said I was promoting drug use and other shit. So now my Instagram has lost 250 people in a week and a half. I didn't even check it today.
You know what's funny about that, Greg?
And they
What's
put
really
me in
funny
timeout.
is there are guys, their whole Instagram is devoted to trend and everything related to anabolic steroids, and they're fine.
The
You
trend
mentioned
twins.
One
People
post
inject.
came up.
Yeah, but I
inject
didn't even
themselves.
say it. I just put the
camera.
picture.
And they
Yeah.
I
banned
just
did
put the
that.
picture. I never even said testosterone. I just put the picture. Said my two best friends.
It's
Other guys
crazy.
in the comments were like, "Yeah, testosterone's great." But now I'm restricted. I can't use only half the features, all this bullshit. And now they put this algorithm on me where it's like somebody drilled a hole in the boat and it's all just going down fast.
There's
You
a
know
lot
what
of flag words.
But how does that? I don't even know how that happens. It's so weird, you know.
Meanwhile, there's guys on there, there's chicks on there talking about sucking dicks and fucking running around and shaking their ass and doing, you know,
it's
just
worse. There's chicks on there
unbelievable.
talking about taking steroids. There's some girl. There's a girl on Instagram who talks about gear like she thinks, you know, like she's like Dan Duchesne or something like that.
I know, right?
Is that the one with the board and she writes everything?
Yes.
With
the board, right?
She got a protruding forehead. She's a big.
Wait, what's her name? I got to pull that page up.
Yeah, but meanwhile,
know,
I'm over there. All I did was show the picture like this. It was a picture.
What's
of
the girl's name with the board? Come on.
That's
I
crazy.
don't
What's the
remember.
Viagra for? For the large prostate?
No, to get the piece
She'll
of God
pop
sometimes.
up.
You know.
She will pop up and then she'll
The
have
boner.
tell you how to take
Oh,
drugs.
but they
She'll
give
tell
it
you
for.
what to
They
You
do.
look like my science
Yeah,
teacher from
it's not
8th grade
illegal
writing on
drug.
the board. Yeah.
It's not even an illegal drug. Dave, I wouldn't even give that girl fucking any like more props by putting her up there. It's like advertising.
true.
Then these fucking guys over here are gonna go nuts.
And then you get demonetized for that.
But you know what's funny?
You remember when you were in
If-
school, John, and the teacher would write all the lessons plan on the blackboard, and you'd have to copy the whole thing over?
Bro, if I
I
was
don't
a
even know what the
girl,
purpose of that was. That's what this girl is doing, basically.
Wow.
if I was a girl taking a testosterone, they'd be giving me an applause. They'd be like,
Yeah.
I would have gained
Yeah.
another fucking bitch.
Right.
Look, I'm not even the biggest social media guy. You know that. And it's not like it matters, but it's principle. You know what I mean? You drilled a hole now in my boat.
Give it-
Everything's fucking. I'm dropping people left and fucking, and you can't tell
Hold on,
me.
but why would people leave your page just
They're
because
not.
you-
They're
They're
not.
not. It's an algorithm that does that shit. Because I know other people have been writing to me, go, holy shit.
No, but
This
Greg,
thing
but
happened.
how can the algorithm get people, defriend people from your page? That
It
doesn't-
I don't know.
When,
I guess
when
it's
you
just
post,
us.
Dave, when you post, your posts just don't show up in people's feed. So, like, let's say you make a post,
Yeah,
usually
shadow ban.
it shows
Shadow
up.
ban.
Yeah, shadow ban. So just
No, but he said he actually has 200 less.
250 less, and you cannot tell me
Maybe the
offended-
bots unsubscribed.
Wait, listen.
We all have
You
bots.
cannot tell me
Yeah.
but how would the bots? Listen, you cannot
That
tell
will-
me I offended people, especially when everybody's bodybuilders, because I held up a picture of testosterone. Somebody must have complained, said, "Oh, he's like promoting drug use," you know. And then
You saw
next
Lacey
thing you know-
Peterson, right? On TikTok, they keep erasing her profile.
Who's that?
Lacey Peterson.
Lacey Peterson. What do I know?
That's
Oh
the
yeah,
wrong
I
name.
saw her yesterday. Was on
The
there.
girl that killed her daughter.
Killed
What's
her
her
kid.
name? What am I
Was
No,
saying?
fucking
Lacey
lawyer.
Peterson was killed by Scott Peterson. You got the name wrong.
What's the girl that got killed by what's
Oh, now you-
the girl that killed her baby?
Kill a kid, the woman who killed her kids. Yeah.
Oh yeah. What the hell's her?
You mean
fuck?
Susan Smith, the one that killed
No.
both of them?
No.
She's in jail still.
To
Yeah.
kill
Yeah,
one
yeah.
with the short dark hair that killed. I know who you're talking about.
See, if
Casey
Susan
Anthony.
Smith was a little hotter, she would have gotten off probably too. But yeah, the whole thing's great.
Now, he's
Casey
talking-
Anthony was banging her
Casey
lawyer.
Yeah,
Casey Anthony, yeah.
Yeah, she's on TikTok, so she keeps making TikTok. She's saying she's an advocate, legal advocate. They keep erasing her TikTok because everybody's reporting her because, like, you killed your kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I didn't kill anybody. I put up a picture of testosterone and Viagra. The most beautiful thing in the world, right? One gives you a boner and the other fucking makes the
What?
brain like think about
That
it.
girl's out of jail that killed the kids?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's all
she-
news.
I think certain people are on a list. You're probably on a list. Lee Priest is definitely on a list because
Yeah,
he gets banned and strikes against him more than anyone, and he doesn't say
must
anything
lose followers
that other people aren't
At one
saying.
time, he had like almost 1 million, and he
Yeah.
and he-
Yeah,
And now he's back. But dude, it's like somebody drilled a hole in a boat for me. Since that day, 250 people. You're not going to tell me 250 people. It's an algorithm. I've had other people tell me the same thing.
Hold on, let me ask you a question, John. Let's ask Greg a question. What's the word algorithm mean to you, Greg?
You know, one of them things they stick on your fucking account, like like
No, that's not an algorithm.
algorithm is like
It's not.
I know what it is. It's like
An algorithm is a mathematical equation. Okay.
but they use it right. I know that's how you build a website. You could use algorithms to get
No, it doesn't build a website. No.
not build a website. Get people to come and shit. It's the functionality of how the fucking thing functions. It can make it function better, like that kind
it's
of
a
shit.
step-by-step process or
It's a
set of rules
program.
used to solve a problem or perform a task.
I would swear to God you read that if I didn't know better.
Greg, every setback is a setup.
The algorithm is how it promotes your page. An algorithm can't remove subscribers from your page.
Well, so you're telling me I offended 250 people, and other
You
people.
probably get offended way more than that on a regular basis, but I don't know why they would. Most of those people like to hear what you're going to say next, though. So I don't know why they would.
I'm still getting the hits. I still get a lot of people, but it's dropped like unbelievable. And I'm not
the two most overused words in internet are algorithm and biohacking.
Well, I don't know what the hell that is.
Remember when Meta?
I'm a biohacking coach.
Metatag?
What's a biohacking coach? I'm a biohacking.
Meta tags are also.
Remember, Blackman was like, that was his word for the month. Remember the meta? Yeah, the meta tag. You gotta get a meta tag.
He meant algorithm, I think. But the thing is, you're not gonna tell me though that too. I'm not the only one. I get people all day telling me, "Oh, bro, the same shit happened to me. I lost 500 people." I'm telling you, they said I have a restriction till March 28th now.
Who is in charge of this shit?
It happens all the time. Meta.
All right, this guy said, I don't know if this guy knows what he's talking about. He says ban waves, remove bot accounts. So that's maybe
what's ban waves? Well, everybody must have bot accounts. I don't know how to
post. Maybe they review your channel and they get rid of the bots.
Every day though, every day 10 to 20 more drop and I'm posting on there. It's whatever it is.
A lot of bots. They go through every once in a while and clean out the bots from people's profiles.
Yeah, but they must have done it to me because they told me I'm restricted, and they told me like they spanked my hand, and I can't even. They said I can't even like fight it.
I'll tell you. Yeah, you want to know how crazy it is on Amazon. If you sell products on Amazon, occasionally they go through and they'll just tell you one of your products is not compliant or something like that. Like you're making claims or you're saying something that you can't say. They did it to me once for Fiberlize. And basically what my claim was the same. I basically copied the Metamucil claim, because I figured this was when I first launched I figured their legal team would know what you can say and can't say. Right. So they tell me you can't say that. And they took down the one flavor. I think it was like mango. This was a long time ago. But they didn't do it to Fruit Punch, and the Fruit Punch had the same. But
you should have told them they're full of shit. Get it?
Because you're talking to a robot. You're not even talking to a real person at Amazon.
I never look what happened with me when I asked my best friend, Charlie Guestfriend, I grew up with little boys together. I said, "Let's hook up." You know what I mean? And then they fucking banned me. They said I was.
They banned you because they know that you go to Sound Factory, and that there was a possibility that you could have been dressing up in like as a woman or something.
They thought maybe I was dressing Charlie up. You know what I mean? In drag. But he's a senior correspondent at Fox Business News, right? So
he's great. I love him. I love Coach.
So we go out one Friday with a bunch of guys that we all grew up with, one Friday out of the month. So I said to them, look, let's hook up this week. You know what I mean? We're gonna go out. And they banned me. They banned they dropped my whole account. My account was gone. And they said because I was sexually promiscuously hitting on her. He brought it to Fox News. They went on Neil Cavuto, did a whole segment on me and son of a bitch, Meta put it right back. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, I thought
scumbag fucks.
You must be on some list. You must be because they're obviously watching what you're doing.
You know what happens to Dave? You know me. I suck at fucking typing and shit, right? So I type with one finger and I type with all caps, right? So about a couple months ago, I was writing something about somebody being fat, and my finger hit the G. I don't know how my finger hit the G because it's below the T. So I didn't, and I don't proofread it, right? So I just typed with like this. And then it said, I see the strike against me, and I'm in trouble now. And I'm like, what the fuck? Because I said somebody, my finger hit the G, so it said, you look like a fag or whatever it said instead of fat. So I couldn't even fix that. I couldn't even tell them, but I didn't mean I hit the wrong button. And now I can't even dispute this.
So now you're a gay hater now. Yeah.
I'm a gay hater who hits on my childhood fucking best friend and shit, right? Who but meanwhile I need Viagra to, I guess, crack him in the can and testosterone to be more man.
All right, let me bring it now that John's back. Let me bring up the topic of the week here. Arnold Schwarzenegger had like a seminar after the Arnold, and he basically said, I guess during the broadcast too, when he was on the live broadcast, he was saying how men's physique guys really should be having their entire physique judged, not just the upper body. They should be wearing posing trunks, and their legs should be evaluated as well. because the whole physique should be taken into account. And he said, it looks like they're wearing pajamas out there on stage. And he gave his opinion on what, and a lot of people got rubbed the wrong way about it. And Ali Bilal, who I really like a lot, who won the show, says he's never doing the Arnold again. Aaron Banks, who was second, said he's never doing the Arnold again. They were complaining that the prize money is not comparable to the open division. And, they were bashing Arnold. Personally, I think Arnold has the right to say whatever he wants. It's just an opinion. There's freedom of speech. I don't understand why people get so insulted. He's putting out a lot of money there. Yeah, it might not be the same as the open division, but this is the argument we've been having for 10 years, for 30 years. The open always gets more. Was Arnold disrespectful? Number one, I want to get you guys' opinions. Did he say anything wrong? Is Ali Bilal and Aaron Banks overreacting to this? And I just want your opinions.
Let's go one by one.
All right,
John.
I agree that the full body should be judged. This board short thing, to me, it irked me from the beginning, from day one. So if you're gonna compete in a body sport, you should have your whole body judged. Not judging your legs is half your body. That's ridiculous. So I'm going to agree with Arnold on that part. As far as anything else Arnold says, I probably disagree with, but that one specific item I would support.
I agree with John Romano.
What?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with John Romano. I think this whoever thought up the whole idea of covering the legs is insane. Because I see some of these guys they don't even train legs or whatever.
Was what Arnold said disrespectful?
No, he has.
What exactly did he say?
He was saying they look like they're wearing pajamas out there.
He's right. He's right.
He's right. What he said, Dave.
He's right.
But I guess the point is, whether he's right or wrong, doesn't he have the right to say it?
Everybody has the
right. Yes, he does, but it's not the competitor's fault. So whatever he's saying about the competitors, it looks like they're wearing pajamas or whatever. If you're a competitor and you have to take offense with that, you're a fucking retard.
I don't think that he's blaming the competitors, though, John.
It's got to do with whoever made the rules and set the federation, set the division up. That's who you got beat.
Now watch. Wait a minute.
Not the competitor.
Watch that Arnold said this. Watch. You're gonna hear no more board shorts. They got to wear at least like the.
No, they're not changed. They're not changed. Look, the board shorts started remember they used to be down to your knee. Now they're very tight fitting. They're mid thigh.
It's still.
So they definitely modified them a lot of it. I think they look good now. I think they looked ridiculous when they first started.
No, it looks terrible.
They did.
They look good now, and once again, I'm a freedom of speech guy, so I'll defend. I don't have to like Arnold's policies, but I will defend his right to say anything because I don't want my speech being inhibited. I don't want people to say, "Oh, I'm being disrespectful just because I'm giving my opinion on something." That's his opinion.
It's his show.
Then they're trying to say, well, he's disrespectful also to the men's physique guys because he's only giving away $25,000 when the open guys got $500,000.
Oh, please! You sound like the girls now. Remember the girls used to complain?
Well, yeah, but I think there's some validity to that. I mean, what creates the disparity of $475,000 between open and the board short guy? So are you saying that one physique is easier to build than the other? Or are you saying one competition is easier to prep for than the other? What exactly are you saying by having a $475,000?
Well, you had that at the Olympia too. So it might be even bigger.
It's all of them. I don't know who started this shit, but if you're giving the first place guy $1 million and then another division first place guy gets $15, how do you justify that?
Dude, I'm sorry.
Do you think it's harder to get to 275 pounds of muscle ripped on stage?
Of course. Dude, this is bodybuilding. That's the minor leagues. That's like the MLB. And to me, the rest of the shit is minor. If those guys get super jacked and get their legs super jacked, they'd be competing in bodybuilding or men's physique. You know what I'm saying? I just think men's physique, classic, I'm sorry. I forgot what the hell. Yeah. Regardless, you got bodybuilding and then maybe classic physique. Those two to me that's the cream of the crop right there. The rest of that shit is all minor leagues. That's the way I look at it.
Well,
It's
yeah, but
MLB versus the minor leagues. You're still a pro baseball player. When you're playing the minors, you can say, I'm a pro. I play for, I play for the Ugats fucking whatever. You know what I mean? The Joe Matarazzas from the Adirondacks. But you're a pro baseball player, but you're not a major leaguer. I think that if, the bodybuilding and classic physique, those two things are, and and to me, Masters is below that shit. This guy's winning Master shows like over 35. What, dude? I'm a friggin' Master. It should be 65.
Right.
You can't be being 40 years old is not a Master. That's just to me.
There's some good Masters though. You go to Masters.
No, I'm not saying there's not.
There's
And he's
good
driving
Masters.
his truck, by the way, Marcos. Thank you for the tip.
Yeah. No, it's
So when Men's Physique first came in, I remember I heard the class coming in, and I had the first competitor of the first show ever in the United States. My competitor competed in U1. Armando, it was like East Texas or something. And so when it first came in, I'm like, okay, it gives people a chance to like a beach body look, and they weren't muscled up and all that. I'm like, this is probably not going to last, and it did last. It caught on. And then within the next few years, these guys I think it took a lot of money away from sponsorships from the Open, because they're like, okay, why are we paying Open guy, let's say $100,000 a year to work a booth, all these booths, when we can have 20 Men's Physique guys do it and give them a jug of protein. Okay, so then it kind of evolved. I remember I had clients, they were doing shows, they were getting counted down because they were too big, then they changed the rules, and then they let them be big again. But let's be real. All of us, when they first came in, and it does bring more people to the show. It does help promoters. It does bring more money. But when it first came in, we were all like hardcore bodybuilders. So us hardcore bodybuilders, it was like a hard pill to swallow, because they were kind of wanting to be put on the same level. So, fast forward to now. Arnold's saying that, no, he can say whatever he wants to. He said, why does the IFBB have this league? So he's asking pretty much the Manions, why are you having this league? So he could say whatever he wants to.
Well, he didn't have to have it. He didn't have to have the division at his show. He chose to have the division at his show. So he obviously supporting it in some degree.
So it brings money. So you go back to this alley guy and the Eubanks and all them saying it offended them. They're so sensitive. Who cares? Don't do the show if you don't have to make this statement. I'm not going to do the Arnold anymore. Arnold doesn't care. Nobody cares. No, who cares?
Yeah, but you got to go back to the prize money. One of the problems is there's way too many divisions, way too many. And if you wanted to have, a physique body, pole dancing, wheelchair, basketball, whatever you want to do, it does not belong in the same show. Have a different show.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I think Arnold did it right. Arnold had 3
and I'll tell you why. Okay. Because if you have to cannibalize one division to pay for another one, then the one you're paying for by cannibalizing the other doesn't belong. It doesn't bring in the money.
Greg said it right. First of all, Arnold made it. This was the best Arnold I've gone to, because it was 3 men's divisions, 3 women's divisions. It made the show super palatable, because they had a Friday night, Saturday night. The show was 2.5 hours. It was great. I loved it.
Me too.
It was the most enjoyable show I've watched from a time standpoint, because it wasn't too long. Okay, that's number one. Number two, the men's open is always going to catch. That's the Arnold Classic. That's where it started. That's his roots. That's Arnold. As like Greg said, the other divisions are minor leagues. Not in the sense of they're any less important. They're minor leagues in the sense that they're lesser physiques to the big freaky guys.
You got it.
Well, they also.
Can I say one more?
Let me finish what I'm saying here. So
I wanted to add something.
The important thing is that, number one, does men's physique bring a lot of people into the NPC, the amateur divisions? Absolutely. It's like much more attainable. You can train, go to the beach and train, in bodybuilding for, in the gym for 2 years or a year, and you can compete in men's physique. It's a great way to get guys into the sport. Yeah. Look at Logan Franklin. He started in men's physique, and now he's a great classic physique, competitor. He almost won the Arnold. The point is that NPC fortification of the men's physique division is benefiting the NPC, the amateur organization. It's not benefiting the open division, the pro division. It's it's not drawing people into the seats for the pro division. It's bringing competitors to
Right.
the sport is what it's doing.
So then why is there such a huge
Arnold,
disparity
as
in
a pro
prize money?
promoter, doesn't have to worry about it. That's not his concern because he doesn't run.
Wait, can I add something to what I was saying? I just want to say one thing. Where the fuck did he go?
It happened.
I wanna hear what you
David,
gotta
you
say.
gotta adjust your goddamn
He'll
settings.
come right back. Go ahead. Go ahead.
David, adjust your settings. No, listen. The one thing I was going to say is originally when he had the Masters, remember he had Vince Taylor and I always thought the Masters should be like the old school guys. You get a Victor Martinez, Vince Taylor, Kevin Levrone, Sean. Oh, that's a great Masters show. I don't want to see Joe Matarazzo who fucking competed in some local show, got his pro card as a master, and now that's what I'm saying. The Masters should be like old school bodybuilders who are, maybe past their prime, but now they're still like really good and it's fun to see. Remember when they first started the Masters? Vince Taylor won the Masters Olympia and all. That's what I like.
Yeah, but we're not even talking about that. We're talking about men's physique. So men's
but
physique.
Wait, hold it. We're talking about prize money. We're talking about
John. What I'm saying is that they're trying to say men's physique carries the sport and brings all this money in. It brings it into the NPC. It doesn't bring it into the pro ranks.
Nobody goes there to see
the question then still remains. Yeah. Why is there a $475,000 disparity?
Because Greg said it. It's the minors.
It doesn't. If you're saying it brings more people in, that's more money.
No, you know what it brings in?
It brings more competitors.
Yeah, and the competitors pay to compete.
But John, when did you ever say, "Holy shit, I can't wait to see the men's physique"? I can't wait to see the men's physique.
Stop.
Greg, shut up for a second.
We go there for the bodybuilding.
Shut up for a second. We're talking about the pro division, John. In the amateurs, and the men's physique brings in the money. Not in the pros. I appreciate the men's physique division in the pros, but most people go to the show to see the open guys, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Of course, look, it comes down to what the populace believes is fair, and when you have one division that the top guy, the guy who wins, makes $500,000.
I competed in the
one division down. One down, not major. You want to say major league, minor league. It's not the same because the minor league guys are trying to be major league. Whoever's going to compete and try to be Mr. Olympia in men's physique has no desire to do the open. If he does, it's a minute fraction. So it's not the same thing. If there's a $475,000 disparity between first place and in one division and first place in the next one down, there's a $475,000 disparity.
It's simple mathematics.
Wait, Greg, if the amateurs are being supported by these guys coming in, it bolsters the pros. Who's making the money?
Wait a minute.
Somebody's making money.
No.
Putting guys in the seats in the pro shows, John.
They come to see the bodybuilders. Listen, they just bring audience because more family, but nobody comes just for that show. If you took the Arnold Classic out and Arnold said, you know what? No more bodybuilding, men's physique. Yeah. You know what? The Arnold Classic would go.
Right.
So don't give me that shit.
Right.
They're bringing up the money.
I'm not disagreeing with
why
that.
do you think the lineup,
John,
why do you think the lineup was so good at this year's Arnold? Because he gave away $500,000.
Dude,
I'm not. There's no argument with that. It's not. The argument is the next tier down.
No, but
how do you justify? How do you justify? You're not listening. How do you justify? You're not listening. You're not listening. Neither of you are listening. How do you justify $475,000 disparity? You want to justify 50 grand, 100 grand? Okay, that's acceptable. That's understandable. But $475,000 is not understable.
No, you're wrong.
So John,
why do some stars get paid $20 million a picture and other guys get paid $10,000 a picture, a movie? Because the bigger star gets paid more. That's how it goes. The bodybuilders are bigger stars.
Dude, once the steak goes to the baked potato, the entree is bodybuilding.
John, do you think they should be making more then you think that men's physique should be making more in open?
Yes.
Why doesn't
No,
the WNBA
no, I
girls
never
not
said
making as
that.
much as the
I
open
never said
basketball
that. I
guys?
never said that.
No.
What I said
let
was,
me reword it.
if you
think
guys
they should
keep
be making-
talking over me, you're never going to understand what I say.
I know what you're saying.
What I'm saying is the disparity between the two divisions is undefinable. You can't explain. If you want to pay the open guys $100,000 more for first place, that's understandable. But when you take $25,000 versus $500,000 to go down one tier, that's not explainable.
It's not a tier. Why does the WNBA girls get paid nothing compared to the
because
NBA
nobody
guys?
watches them.
No, Dave,
No,
it's
that's not true. That's not true.
You're going to
Dave,
say
you
that as
have
many
dinner.
people watch
You have
WNBA
dinner.
as
The
watch
fucking
NBA?
No, but there's a lot of there's a lot more people that
The
watch
rest is
WNBA
salad
than
to me,
watch
bro.
bodybuilding. That's for sure.
That's the side dish. It's not the main entree.
Right.
It's the
That's
side
right.
dish.
That's
You eat
right.
the steak.
There's no,
That's the fucking
Greg,
rice
there's no
outside.
argument. There's no argument.
You
here.
are arguing, but you
No.
are arguing.
The
You're
argument
arguing.
He's arguing the money.
The argument is the disparity, the
Yeah,
difference
the
between the
That's
two.
because there's an appetizer versus main entree. I
Right.
agree.
That's
100%.
not equitable. That's nuts.
It is.
It's
No.
nuts. It's
It
nuts.
doesn't draw.
So what
Take the
John's saying is
bodybuilding out of
is
there.
like the
You don't
appetizer is
fucking want.
$2, but the
Take
entree is
the
$80.
What I'm saying is, you're going to get a kernel of popcorn for an appetizer.
If you
and
want
you're
to
gonna
make
get
a lot of
70
money,
steaks
John,
for the
if
for
you
the
want to
main
make a lot of money in bodybuilding, you go into the open division. If
Dude,
you can't
wait,
do the open,
Dave.
you're gonna have to take less money in the
Dave,
other
the
division.
Arnold Classic could rely on just bodybuilding if it had to. It did for many years.
It always
if
did,
You
yeah.
if you took the physique out, it's still going to be the Arnold Classic. You take bodybuilding out of there, nobody's going. I'm sorry.
don't
I
think
love it.
everybody's-
I
No one's
actually
arguing with that.
enjoy watching men's physique,
I'm
and I
not
respect those
putting the
athletes.
physique guys down.
They're not
I'm just
getting
saying,
paid
let's call a
the
spade a
same
spade.
amount. They're not drawing the same people.
Let's call a spade
If
a
they're not
spade.
drawing the same
Yeah.
people, they should fucking get rid of it.
No, because it's good. It's a
I'm
good.
not saying that.
It's a good entry division for the amateurs. Is what
John,
it is.
could you sit down and just eat steak, or do you have to have maybe a little bit of rice with the steak?
Okay, Greg, if you're on your,
Or a
your
shrimp
example,
cocktail. How
the
about a shrimp
appetizer
cocktail?
is a
There you
kernel of popcorn, and the main course is 70
That's not
filet
true.
mignons.
It's not true.
Yes,
You got-
it is.
No, it's not.
absolutely
No,
true.
You're missing the point.
Are you telling me that the men's physique guy versus the open guy, that there's a $475,000 difference between
Yeah.
their physique?
Yeah, because
Yes.
the men's
I don't
open
think-
division is bodybuilding.
You know,
The
wait,
rest
you
of
know what
them
one of the
are-
best-
Then why have the other one?
You know what? One of the best
I don't
examples.
because you
think-
need
I
your
don't think
advertisers
physique
too.
should be
People like
paid
it.
more. I don't think they should be getting more. Ali said, "Well, I could go compete over in this country and make more, so go do it."
No,
Why are you
listen,
complaining?
in MLB, the big hitters make more than the best pitchers.
Because they're fucking cheap is the
Listen,
reason
in
why.
MLB,
You're
the
right.
big hitters
You're
make
right.
more than the
They
pitchers.
are.
Yet
You're
the pitchers
fucking
throw every
cheap.
fucking
If you had
John,
three
you gotta
divisions
where's the
of
money
men,
coming?
Yeah.
Where's the
three
money coming
divisions
from?
of women, that's only 6 divisions competing in
So in
one
other
night.
words, you
You're
would
going to
rather
tell
take-
me that it's equitable to have almost a $500,000 difference?
Yeah, because
between
you
first
got to
place
pay the
in one
people who
division
bring the
and
people
first
into the
place.
seat.
There's only 2 more.
It,
You
to
can't
quote
put it up
Instagram and
Ronnie
go
Coleman, it's
Go
apples
on
and
Instagram and
oranges.
see who everyone's talking about. They talk about the open division.
At the Arnold,
No,
side,
you
if-
shouldn't
if
have
it's
the other
so,
It's
one
looking at
in.
apples
He's
and
got a very
oranges.
big following.
take away Miss Physique from the Arnold. How much less people are going to show up as fans?
Yes, no one. They
I
won't
say
lose.
none, zero,
They won't lose anyone.
None.
zero.
Exactly.
Dude, big hitters.
No, you're
have
saying
always
exactly
got-
now. You're agreeing
No,
with us.
because you guys
You're
all
agreeing
fucking
with
talk
us.
over me. You have no idea
You're
what I'm
agreeing
saying.
with us.
I
You
love
just
you,
said
No.
exactly. No one would show up.
First of all, as soon as I open my mouth, everybody else opens theirs. So you have no idea what I'm saying.
I
None,
love you, but
zero.
you haven't
We
stopped
heard
talking
you
yet.
40 times
If you
already.
took out men's physique, board shorts, whatever,
wouldn't lose
if you
anyone.
took that out of the Arnold, nobody would care.
Right.
No one would care.
Right.
Okay, so if that's the case, get rid of it.
No, because you can't, because they still need representation there.
Why?
Why?
Why? Nobody cares. Why do you
It's a
need
viable-
representation
it's
over
a
something
viable
nobody
Because-
cares
division.
about?
It's a viable division. You have to reward the people who are at a level of excellence. You
Right.
don't have to reward them to the degree of the open guys, but you still have to reward them and give them a venue to compete in.
Like Dave said,
Why?
there's
Because
Brad
if-
Pitt.
if-
It's a division. It's a division.
Why,
That's
wait,
why.
why do you have to have it?
The
Because
NPC feeds into the IPD,
there.
right? So there can't be
If
like
nobody
not
where
cares,
are the amateurs
If
going to
you
go
took-
when they turn
if
pro?
you took out
right.
if you took out one of these divisions that has no effect whatsoever on ticket sales, obviously that division is
but it
worthless.
will have effect on the amateur ranks because it's a like
okay,
an intro division.
Okay.
So then it's back to the greed thing because in the amateurs, the promoters get all the money.
Right.
Right. Let me talk for a second. So if you're in the NPC and you're a men's physique competitor and you're competing, what's your motivation to turn pro if there's no division, right? So they do deserve a place, but I don't think they deserve to get paid more than they are now.
Of course not. Listen, the best pitcher in baseball does not get paid as much as the best hitter in baseball because the hitter's what brings the fucking people there. If you go to a real pitching duel, it's a boring fucking game, not for nothing. But when you get guys launching home runs, nobody makes more than Juan Soto, not even close. And he's not a pitcher. A pitcher pitches every pitch of the game. A pitcher throws. He's more active than anybody in the game.
Yeah, he deserves the most money. Yeah.
Yet he doesn't make more money than the hitter. And the reason why is because the hitter's the Brad Pitt, like Bob, what's his name said, Dave, and the other guys that are supporting roles. So you're asking for the supporting role to get as much money as the lead role, and that's the problem. If you talk to the physique guys, they're in awe of the bodybuilding. I've been backstage where I've seen the physique guys who are at the top of the game run over to like some of the big pro bodybuilders. Dude, can I get my picture taken with you? They're in awe of those.
Wait a minute.
No,
back
Greg.
Back
Greg,
up.
when have you been backstage?
Hold it. Greg, when were you at a bodybuilding show when they had men's physique?
With you last year.
Not in the last 2 decades. So don't give me that bullshit.
Greg, no, you're not backstage. No one's going up to the bodybuilders.
You have never seen men's physique, ever.
I'm talking about men's physique, not classic.
They're not doing
You don't even know what they look like.
Oh, that's bullshit. I've been back.
Greg,
why was everyone? Hold on, let me throw another thing. Why was everyone so excited about Chris Bumstead doing the open division?
Because I think people wanted to see what the top winner of the Olympia would do in the open class.
Because the open class is where the excitement is.
I don't think anybody cares.
Competing with the open guys and winning.
Is it my turn yet?
You can go.
Okay. I agree with both you guys. John, I think you're right. The disparity is way too much. I think maybe 10, not 20 times. So 50 grand for 500 grand. That makes more sense. I think eventually we're going to get there because all these competitors are also buying tickets to see the show. Like kind of like what Greg says, they are competing, but what
competitors are buying tickets to see a show?
No, well, you know what? I'm not buying tickets. They don't have to buy tickets, but I'm saying they are going to be watching the Open. They're going to be watching the show. They're going to be at the expo. So it does bring some small amount of people to it, but not that much. But because they made the class instead of paying them less and doing all this stuff, you got 3 divisions. You got, let's not count 212. Bodybuilding, classic, and physique. Okay, it shouldn't go from 500,000 to 25,000. It should go something like 500,000, maybe 150,000, 200,000, and then like 50,000. So that makes more sense. So that's where, John, I think I have to agree with you that it should be kind of tiered somewhat.
You know what I mean? With that logic, you'll get no one doing the Arnold Classic again, just like they weren't doing it before. And then when Arnold raised the prize money up to like whatever it was, 400 grand or 300 grand, everyone jumped into the show.
No one said take the prize money away.
No, you gotta keep the prize money of the Open up there, or the guys won't compete.
I never said drop it. I said raise it.
Where are you getting this extra money from? Who's getting?
Are you kidding? Are you fucking kidding me? They have tons of money. They're the cheapest, greediest people on earth.
Wrong. There's not as much profit as you think at these shows.
I think Amin's got a killer opinion.
Overhead at these shows. I don't agree with that.
Sorry, Amin. It was just a little joke.
Okay, that's a good one. I got to give it to you.
I said I think Amin's got a killer opinion.
I bet you Jake Wood is losing money on the Olympia, but by supporting all those divisions, flying all these athletes,
I love you, Amin.
Putting them up in hotels. He's the benefactor of this sport because believe me, he's not making any money at that Olympia. And you know what? It's a tough. You got to be able to support. You can't. It's got to be a business model, John. But the main attraction is the men's Open, and that's why they'll always get the most money.
100%. I have no problem with that. What I'm trying to get across to you guys is that the disparity is too great. If you think if it's, I'm not saying take the prize money away from the open guys.
I disagree. I actually disagree. I think they should give $1 million to the men's open.
I agree.
Once they get to $1 million, then if you want to give the other divisions more money as the money becomes available,
so we're just arbitrarily drawing lines in the
get
sand.
To $1 million.
Yeah,
you got to get to
it's
$1 million.
all arbitrary.
Well, one second.
You want to talk about a business model? This is completely arbitrary.
I don't want to nurture the men's physique and classic. If guys want to do it, that's great. I want to see more Kevin Lavronis and Flex Wheelers.
Me too.
Woodwork and do open. The only way to do that is to put a lot of money up for your ass.
You're right.
I agree with you. It should be $1 million.
Target that division.
Yeah,
You get
okay, at $1 million, $2 million, $5 million. How do you mathematically, on a business model standpoint, choose the amount you're going to give to the next tier down?
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, what is it
It's arbitrary.
Let me talk.
It's like 6 feet of spacing during COVID. It was completely arbitrary. There's no science behind it. There's no formula behind it. There's no nothing. It's a bunch of guys in a fucking room deciding, well, let's give him 500,000. Let's give him 20 grand. Let's give fuck them. They'll come anyway.
There's a money big.
These guys are complaining so much about not being able to make the same money, go to open bodybuilding. The reason they can't go to open bodybuilding because you could turn pro in men's physique in maybe a couple years. To become an open top bodybuilder, that takes years and years and years to get that look. But the problem is a lot of the men's physique guys, they're wanting to be on the same level and be, given the same accolades as a open bodybuilder. They want the same attention as an open bodybuilder. It doesn't work that way. They didn't put in the same work. And people want to say, oh, well, they take less drugs. No, they don't. I get people all the time. They don't take less drugs.
But they do take it for less years.
They take
it takes more years to become a pro bodybuilder.
Because they're turning pro a lot sooner. Right. So when they turn pro, they're up there, and with these other bodybuilders that dedicate their whole life to being an open bodybuilder. When men's physique guys turn pro, maybe a couple years. It's different.
I want to say something.
I agree.
I want to say something real quick about what Arnold said. What Arnold was actually saying, he was, in his way, he was complimenting Ali. What he was saying was, I don't understand why they don't show the whole body, because Ali goes, you have the legs, and he was saying, you have the whole body. I don't understand why this class doesn't let you show it. And going back to this for 1 second, I think Dave's solution would be the best for this by, having the trunks come up a couple more inches to where they're a little bit more like, shorter swimsuits, maybe not what class, in between, obviously classic is a little bit showing less than what pro is, open is. So a little bit, like a shorter board short, so you can see the teardrop and the calf, and include that in the actual factoring of who's first, second, and third, because you should be calculating the entire body. I think for for physique, they only judge the upper body. Am I right about that?
They
say they judge the whole thing, but I don't think they really.
No. When I was judging, and it still holds the same. I talked to my friend that judges 2 days ago. So when you judge men's physique, I asked them, I'm like, are we judging anything lower? They say, no, don't look at the lower body. Look at the waist up. It doesn't matter if they have calves this big or this big or this big. They say, actually, if some of these guys have big legs, I remember Chris Jalali when he competed in men's physique, after years, his legs were big, and it was actually distracting from his upper body. Now these guys have a weight cap, and they're thinking like, okay, my lower half, weighs a lot. So what's their motivation to train legs? Okay, if they change the criteria and say, okay, we're going to judging half the legs, that changes the whole criteria of men's physique, and then it's going to force these guys to train legs harder and get their legs up to par.
And if they do that, Armand, then that actually sets it up to start off with physique and then go to classic and then eventually get to bodybuilding where you can get the more money. That's how it should be, because the way they have it right now, physique can't really turn into classic physique unless they start emphasizing on their legs more, and they're not. Some of them aren't. Some of them are.
Most of these guys, a lot of these guys train their legs.
A lot of them have perfect bodies,
but a lot of them are going in there and doing extensions and leg curls, and that's it.
There's been an evolution in the attire in classic physique. When it first started, it covered the entire glute. Do you remember, guys?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that there needs to be a further evolution in the attire for the physique category, where they can shorten the attire and judge the entire physique.
You know what? I mean, even if they don't do that, even if the people who run the sport don't want that, that's fine. Arnold just gave his opinion. It doesn't mean that you have to not do it. Why people would get upset or insulted by him saying what his opinion was, that he thought they should show legs, doesn't mean they're going to do it. Doesn't mean that it doesn't mean anything. It's just his opinion. If he didn't support men's physique, it wouldn't be in his show, and he wouldn't be giving them any money.
No,
so I don't know why people got upset by it.
I think these are the same people that don't like Arnold for when he says "screw your freedom." I think it's those people that just.
Well, he pisses me off when he says "screw your freedom," but I agree with Dave with this. He has every right to say it. First of all, it's his fucking show. You know what I mean? He made this sport what it is, not for nothing.
He didn't say anything. Ali took it the wrong way. Ali took it the wrong way. He really did. He shouldn't have taken it that way.
They both, Aaron Banks the same way. They both took it the wrong way.
But Dave's saying almost like they're like, how dare he fucking say this? How dare he has every right.
He was saying the guy's body looks so good. I don't understand why you have to wear this while you're covering the leg. I think they should retract their statements. I think they should all go do the show again. I think they should raise the prize money.
Look, he's right. Arnold's right. He made the sport. He brought the Arnold Classic was more popular than the Olympia.
They would, you know what? They would have a better argument, like Amin said, of just saying, you know what? We don't agree with Arnold. That doesn't matter, but we would really like to see the prize money increase because, hey, you're giving away $500,000 for the Open. We would like to see some more money in men's physique. And Arnold could say yay or nay, and then that's up to him because it's his show. He can do whatever he wants.
Dave, I don't care.
That would be a better argument than saying we're insulted by the fact that he that he said that.
Right. Look, I'm all for men's physique. I'm not against the guys with the board shorts, but I'm saying they're the role players. They're not the fucking star player. The star player's always going to be the bodybuilder. Yeah. You can take bodybuilding out of the Arnold Classic. It's done then. Okay. You can't just sit and say, you know what, I'll have a salad and I'm not going to have the steak. You have to have, the entree is the entree, and the entree will always be the men's open bodybuilding, without a doubt. It will always be that. And you can't, it's just like in baseball. There's nothing like a hitter. You can't, pitchers who are great and win games, and they're the guy, but realistically, the people come to see some guy smacking home runs, and that's what they come for. So, the biggest price tag, look, there's only so much money in bodybuilding. $500,000 is a lot to all of us. But to any other athlete, the minor league baseball player, the top tier, make $600,000 or $700,000. It's nothing. The real argument is about freedom of speech. Look, Bob Ciccarello and Nick Walker had that argument the other day where Bob, said that he didn't think Nick was going to make the top 5 at the Olympia. Nick got insulted and said that who the fuck's Bob? And then Bob said, I'm the guy who's going to, announce you in 8th place.
Yeah.
Now, you might think what Bob said was insulting, but it was his opinion. He feels that Nick Walker's not going to make the top 5. He has every right to say that.
Yeah, but wait a minute.
Hold on. I've had arguments with Bob in the past, but I defend his right to say whatever he thinks is his opinion. And you know what? No one should get pissed off at him and say he should be fired from MC.
No, man, that's crazy.
No, but plus I don't like when these young guys. You can't put a guy like him down, not for nothing. But these older guys, who paved the way for these young guys. I mean, when Bob Ciccarello was competing, it wasn't the kind of money there is now. You know what I'm saying? It's guys like him who paved the way for these young guys.
No, but I'm just saying. No, I'm saying everyone has the right to give their opinion.
Don't put him down like that. You don't have the right.
Greg, everyone has the right to give their opinion. You can't shut people down and throw them in a box.
I'm agreeing with you.
Unless you're John Romano.
Bob wasn't lying, though. Bob wasn't lying.
I don't think Nick Walker actually knew who Bob was when they. I watched that video. I really don't know if he knew who Bob was. We know he knows who he is, but I don't think he knew who's Bob.
Yes, he does.
No, he was being sarcastic.
But he was.
Dude,
are you kidding me?
Bob Ciccarello was before that kid was born.
Everybody knows who Bob is.
Nick just seemed like he was clueless.
I knew.
No, he said it as a joke, sarcastically.
1982. Come on, man.
It was a joke. Bob who?
You beat a teenage American.
The real problem here is that there's too many divisions. That's the problem.
I agree with that, John.
It is.
What they should do, if I ran the circus, I would have men's open and 212 or 2 whatever it is today. All right. Then I would have women's wellness and bikini. That's it. Fill them up. sell the tickets. But
and what are you going to do? Just discard everyone else?
In any other division?
What are you going to do? Just discard everyone else?
Let me finish. If you want to compete in any other division, they have to make another event, like a fitness festival, something else where they can put fitness, bikini, fitness, figure.
But why do you need another event? Why do you need another event?
It won't draw.
If you're
pole dancing, physique, whatever, all that other bullshit that doesn't draw any tickets that the show can do.
It doesn't draw anything. No one will go see it.
That they would leave that out and just put on the most popular stuff, 4 divisions. That's it. Raise the prize money. Keep the guys at the top of the heap like you want them, and leave it at that.
But it won't draw, though.
If you're a promoter,
that's almost like
you guys are hypocrites.
No,
you're telling me on one side that if you got rid of board shorts, it would have no effect whatsoever.
No, you're saying that it's an
now you're saying that no one will go to the show. So which is it?
On its own.
Which is
if you're a promoter,
it's good for the sport, but it's not worth not worth giving.
Right. If Steven Spielberg's going to make a new movie, he says, you know what, I'm going to make a role player play the lead role because I don't want a Brad Pitt who's going to draw more people to the to that movie. I don't.
Greg, if you're watching the World Series, do you want the Pee Wee League to compete to, and then Little League, and then the high school guys, and then the college guys, and then the B, then the C level, then the B level.
When you watch the Olympics, John, there's sports that draw and there's sports that don't because it's every sport.
They need bodybuilding to carry them, though. That's the
I still think they shouldn't
be meat and potatoes.
If you do separate days for the NPC, you got to pay more. You got to pay more money for paying for a separate day.
Yeah.
So the problem with that is you're going to have the bodybuilding on one day, and let's say bodybuilding, let's say the NPC league, and then another day you're going to have bikini and men's physique. People are still going to go to that, but it's not going to be enough money to still make that show profitable for those promoters to still have that. So that's never going to work either.
100%. I agree with you, Armand. I agree 100%.
It's really funny that if you decide that you're going to do something, whatever it is, whether it's bodybuilding or whatever, growing fins on your back, however you want to do it, everybody expects that somebody's going to give them a venue to espouse their progress or their accomplishment. Where is it written that we have to have the divisions that don't draw? If they don't draw, why do we have them? Why do you gotta penalize the guys or say, all the money is for the open guys, and then the opinion?
You're not penalizing. You're giving them a smaller piece of the pie.
Right.
You're giving them a small. I'm not saying to get rid of men's physique. I'm just saying they don't deserve as much as the open guys.
Then don't put it in the same show.
They do deserve something.
Just like I don't want to watch Little League at a Major League Baseball game.
Doesn't mean we should get rid of Little League.
That's different, though. You're comparing apples and oranges.
No, I'm not.
First of all, a lot of those board short guys, the physique guys, are guys who just starting out in bodybuilding. They know they're not ready yet to win a big show.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start maybe throwing on some shorts and shit. I'll start low. A lot of these guys started like that. It's a great way for me. I think it's a great way for guys to get their feet wet on stage.
Like a lot of them
it's
start.
It's a feeder system for the open.
Get your feet wet.
They don't have to go through that whole off season and pack on all that weight and then diet down and do it again and diet it down. That's really hard to do that.
All the growth.
I think an off season is harder than a pre-contest because you're forcing yourself to eat. Let's say you take a year off and then you have to get bigger. Men's physique, don't do that. You could be 17 years old, start working out in men's physique, start taking a bunch of drugs and have enough of physique to go compete and turn pro in men's physique.
Yeah.
If you have a good genetics.
You shouldn't be 17 years old on drugs.
That's the opposite of what I would tell anybody. Because if you want to compete as a bodybuilder in the open, the worst thing in the world you can do is compete every year before you're ready. So if you want to win the Mr. Olympia and compete in the open and the pros at the top, you should not compete at all. At all.
No, but until
you got to that point.
No, you can't
that is completely false. That you're going to start as a board short guy and then compete as a board short guy and then move up to classic physique and then move up to men. It doesn't work that way.
Does.
That's why. That's why.
If you want to be Mr. Olympia and put out a top pro physique, you do not compete in board short. That sets you back. All that does is set you back.
I don't agree. I don't agree with that.
5 years, 6 years, 8 years, pack on the muscle, diet off the fat, and go compete. To think that
that's the old way, John. That's the old way.
That's the old way.
The new way is you have other venues to compete in before you get to the
Dave,
point.
the path to Mr. Olympia does not start with board shorts. Doesn't happen.
It could. A
No,
lot of
it couldn't. It's impossible.
You
name one guy who did. Name one guy who did. One. Name one. One. Give me one.
It's too new. I think it's too new. I mean, look at guys.
Not too new.
Look
And
at
you don't have one guy. Give me one
Give
example. Give me one example. One. One. Of some guy that started out in board shorts and then made it to the Olympia stage.
Stand along, Goose.
Dave, this is board shorts.
At the NPC level, at the NPC level, you used to have to go to compete. You started as a lightweight, a middleweight. So what it's done at the NPC level, it's emptied out the bodybuilders. You go there, there's 3 bodybuilders, there's 4 bodybuilders. There used to be 30 bodybuilders, 40 bodybuilders, 20 bodybuilders. Now you've got all these men's physique guys. They're doing that because a lot of these men's physique guys could be a lightweight bodybuilder, middleweight bodybuilder, but they emptied out the bodybuilding division at the NPC shows.
Right. So didn't Derek Lunsford and Dexter Jackson both start out as lightweights?
Yep.
They both started as lightweights and didn't even Nick Walker, I think, was like a lightweight. Or
Dexter could have been a men's physique guy when he first started.
Damn right.
Dexter was what, 135?
He would have been a great men's physique guy too.
Yeah, he would have won.
All right. Well, we got to wrap up the show. This argument can go on and on and on because both sides are valid. Put your comments, put your thoughts in the comments below, and we can continue this conversation next time. But
we're like a bunch of Italians on Thanksgiving and shit like that, arguing over the meatballs. And
personally, I don't think Arnold did anything wrong, and I think that we got to defend people's right to say what they want. Freedom of speech is paramount. I'm Dave Palumbo with the entire Whack Pack saying we'll see you next week.
Fuck Instagram, you motherfuckers.